So we were discussing our activities and our last topic during yesterday's class, right? So whatever we have discussed, I hope you're clear with it. And we also talked about the checkpoints which is given in your book. I would like to clarify you on only one question, which is eagle have sharp teeth to tear flesh. So that will be actually it's a false. It's not true that yesterday I made a mistake. So they have talons. Okay, talons. Talons is a kind of a paw in that paw. Okay, so they have sharp nails that will help in tearing the flesh, and the beaks they'll be eating the flesh. So that was one mistake I made. So it's actually a false. So first question, animals are called producers. It's false. Eagles have sharp teeth. Again, it's false. Scavengers clean up your surroundings. It's true. Honeybee, it's a parasite. It's false. And plants and animals are interdependent. Again, it's a false. Okay, very good. So if you have finished your activity, just wait for the Google Post Meet to post it, Google Forms, and after that you can just post it in the Google Classroom. Okay, so meanwhile now we'll just discuss about the third and the fourth activity. You need not do the activity, but the thing is you need to know whatever the activities which is present in your book. So third activity we'll just discuss now. So it's, I hope this activity I gave you to do it, right? Sprout green grams. That is, you're supposed to take a handful of green grams, and what enough water you have to pour enough water to soak the seeds completely, and after that keep the vessel undisturbed at room temperature overnight. And what happens is, next thing is, next morning drain the excess water from the seeds and cover the seeds with damp muslin cloth. Keep the muslin cloth moist at the time at regular intervals. Observe the seeds on the following day. So you're supposed to observe the seeds, and what you have to do is you have to take a picture of this. I have told you already. So take the picture of it and post it in the classroom, in the form. Also, I want you to observe what are these changes you have observed in that moong dal. Okay, so in that moong dal, whatever you have observed, you can write about that in again in a sheet of a paper and attach it with the photo also. So two things has to be done in this. So the observation which is given in your book, so the whatever the observation which is given is the seeds have developed tiny white like thread structure. So they would have developed the white like structure. So you are supposed to observe that also and write about it. Also, conclusion is seeds sprout when they are given right amount of air, water, and warmth. So observe that also and write it. So first and second, you can, in the activity number 1 and activity number 2, you can share, you can select any one and you can post it. You can do it again, but this activity 3, it's actually a compulsory question. Okay, so it's a compulsory thing. So I want everyone to do that. Okay, so you are supposed to take it and do all the things which is necessary and post it in the classroom. So next we'll move on to the activity 4. So what the activity 4 which is given in your book is to list food eaten by animals. Again, you need require pen and pencil, paper. So certain common animals are listed in the table given below. So think and write down the food eaten by these animals in the second column. So next, check the food items listed and classify it. So you are supposed to write like what they have asked is like they'll be giving an animal, so food habit, classification based on food habit. Now we'll just do this in the class. I want you to observe it and write it. So pigeon, for example, cow, they have given grass, oil, cake, hay, grains. So it's actually a food habit is herbivore. So I want you to write your answers for pigeon. What are the food habits for pigeon, and what is the classification? Whether it's a herbivore, it's a carnivore, or it's an omnivore, you are supposed to write. Now do it. Now send me the text. Okay. Summer. Oil cake, I have no idea. I think it's Vaikol or something they'll be telling. Okay. That's what it is, I think so. I'm not sure about it. Okay, can you guess what the pigeon eats? Yes, very good. So grains. Actually eats the grains. Okay, so mode of nutrition. What is the food habit or things which eats? So it's just eats the seeds, weeds. So it's, is it a herbivore or is it a carnivore? Is it a herbivore or is it a carnivore? Okay. Seeds, especially it eats seeds. Okay, so seeds is right. Grains also it eats. Whether it's a herbivore or it's a carnivore. Good. So it's a herbivore. Very good, Jivisha. So it's a herbivore. So that's the answer. Is it? It's a herbivore. Okay. So like that, they've given lots of other animals also. So they have given you snake. They have given leopard, butterfly, human being, and bear. So you're supposed to find the food habit for that and the mode of nutrition, whether it's a herbivore, whether it's a carnivore, or whether it's an omnivore. So that will be your last activity. And now we'll just recall whatever we have seen in the first unit. Okay, so we are going to recall whatever we have seen. So before that, we'll just talk about the science vocabularies which is very needed for grade 6 and in unit 1. Okay, so the vocabularies which we are going to need. So what actually the food is all about? So food, it's a substance which gives energy and keeps the body in good health. So that's what the food is all about. So it is actually a substance that gives energy and keeps the body in good health. So when you talk about the food, you have the food substances has energy. How this energy is coming from nutrition it is coming. So that's the first thing. And ingredients is nothing but various items which is used to prepare a dish. So that is called as ingredients. And photosynthesis is nothing but the process of which green plants prepare food in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, using carbon dioxide and water. So these are some of the requirements for the preparation of the photosynthesis. And the fourth one is the germination, the first stage in the development of seed in a plant. Okay, in moong dal you will be getting this white colored thing, right? So you'll be getting this white colored thing. So that is the process. Okay, so the seed becomes, they starts to grow, you call it as a germination. So what actually the germination is, it is actually the first developmental stage of a seed into a plant. Okay, so this is a first developmental stage. Okay, the growth here, that becomes the first developmental stage. So that is called as germination. And producer, you already know, so the organism which prepare its own food. So the example for producer, it includes plants. So plants will be the example of the producer. And consumer is the organism that depends upon the other organisms for food. So it may be plants or it may be animals. So whatever it may be, you call it as yes, consumers. And pisciculture, rearing and management of fish in a very large scale. Okay, so pisciculture is rearing and management of fish in a very large scale, while apiculture is rearing and management of honey bees in a very large culture. So that's called as, that's the difference between pisciculture and apiculture. So next one is poultry. So poultry is nothing but domesticated birds which will be kept in an area. You call them as poultry. Okay, so they'll be kept in like chicken, ducks, ducklings, everything will be kept in one area. So you call them as poultry. And apiculture, again rearing of honeybees on a large scale, you call it as apiculture. Herbivore, animal that eats only plants. Okay, so herbivore is nothing but animal that eats only plants. And carnivore is that eat flesh of other animals. Carnivore is nothing but the animal which is eating the flesh of other animals. And omnivore, an animal that eats both plants and flesh of animals. So you call this as omnivore. So omnivore is nothing but both the plants and the animals, they'll be eating it, whereas decomposer is a living thing, especially bacterium and fungus, that causes decay by a slow natural process. So it's nothing but it's a slow natural process. Okay, so it's a slow and a very natural process which is taking place by a living thing called as bacterium and fungi, which is going to play an important role. You can find it on soil as well. And scavenger is an animal that feeds on dead bodies of other animals. Okay, so scavenger is nothing but animals that feeds on the dead bodies of other animals. So dead bodies will be eaten by the scavengers. Carnivore, some major difference between carnivore and scavenger, they eat the dead bodies, while as the carnivore is they hunt the flesh. Okay, so they hunt the flesh totally and they eat. Okay, so that's the difference between it. And parasite is an animal that lives in on another type of animal and feeds on it. So they live in the, maybe in the hair, you can take the lice, inside your intestine you have the tapeworm, roundworm, hookworm, all those worms comes under that. So they are called as parasite that lives in or an another type of animal and feeds on it. So they feed on the host. Okay, so that's called as parasites. And lastly, the food chain sequence showing who eats whom in natural environment. So these are some of the vocabularies to be known. Okay, so your important vocabularies in unit 1. So with this, your unit 1 gets over. I hope you don't have any doubts. Are you having any doubts, or I have to retake any of the things? Okay, so from the book, should I have to teach anything? No doubts, right? Are you having any doubts? Okay, so only one thing I have to talk about is, I think we were talking about plants and animals also. In that, we are also supposed to talk about a substance called as salt. Okay, so salt is one major ingredient in every food, right? Other food sources. So where the salt you're getting, where actually the salt you're getting? Any idea? Yes, very good. So C, it is totally dependent on seed. So what one major thing is, it is not getting from plants and animal sources. Okay, so they are totally getting from sea, and you call the salt as sea water. Okay, so they are not dependent either on plant or animals. So that is the only thing. And salt is a very major ingredient in each of the food substances. Salt plays a very good vital role. So with this, your unit 1 gets finished. Okay, I don't want anyone to share your screen, and I can see the names of who sharing your screen. Ahmed Rasim, can you please switch off it? All right, so now we'll move on to the book back questions, and I want you to answer your book back questions. Okay, so if you know the answers, probably you can just tell me. Okay, so first question is, you're supposed to choose the best answers. You can either say A, B, C, or D, or else you can say the answer for your question. Okay, so first question is, to perform an activity, we need dash. Your options are A, energy, B, power, C, force, and D, gravity. So your options are A, energy, B, power, C, force, or D, gravity. Yes, Ritula. Yes, very good. So your answer is A, energy. Energy. So to perform an activity, what you require actually is energy. All right. So your second question is, dash is extracted from the seeds of plants such as mustard. Okay. So your options are A, spice, B, tea, C, vegetable oil, and D, coffee. So dash is extracted from the seeds of plants such as mustard, A, spice, B, tea, C, vegetable oil, and D, coffee. Very good. Okay, it's not A, Saif, it's C. Okay, so those who have told A, it's wrong. So it's C, vegetable oil only. So the answer is vegetable oil. So vegetable oil is extracted from the seeds of mustard. Okay, so mustard from vegetable oil you can get from the seeds of mustard is vegetable oil. And plants prepare their food during the process called dash. A, germination, B, photosynthesis, C, transpiration, and D, sprouting. A, germination, B, photosynthesis, C, transpiration, and D, Sprouting. Okay, very good. Everyone is okay. It's not D, it's B. Okay, those who have told D, it's wrong. So the answer is B, photosynthesis. So fourth question: domesticated birds are called dash. A, poultry. B, talon. C, brood. And D, flock. A, poultry. B, talon. C, brood. And D, flock. Very good. So your option is A, poultry. So those who have told D, it's wrong. Okay, so A, poultry is the right answer. Okay, so that's the right answer. And your fifth question is: animals are called dash because they cannot prepare their own food. Your options are A, producers. B, decomposes. C, scavengers. And D, consumers. Okay, so whoever told A, it's wrong. Okay, so A is not the right answer. Only plants are called as producers, while animals you call it as consumers. Okay, very good. And your true or false. So whether it is true, it's T, and F false, it's F. Okay. So first question is: we eat the root of drumstick plant. We eat the root of drumstick plants. Okay, so that's the false. So no, it's not true, it's false. So those who have told your answer is false, very good. Those who have told true, no, just change. Okay. Clove is a spice which is the bud of the plant. Clove is a spice which is the bud of the plant. Yes, it's a true answer. Very good. It's a true. Very good. And third question is: herbivores eat both plants and the flesh of animals. Herbivores are eating the plants as well as the flesh of animals. Yes, very good. It's a false. So herbivore just eats the plants alone. Okay. And the fourth question is: carnivores, birds have talons to tear the flesh of their prey. So carnivores, birds have talons to tear the flesh of the prey. So I get the mixed answers. Okay, so those who are telling false, it's actually wrong. So the answer will be true because they use talons to tear the flesh. I told you in the morning, so it's a true only. So carnivores, birds have talons to tear the flesh. So that's the true. And fifth question: food chain shows interdependence of all organism in a natural environment. Food chain shows interdependence of all organism in a natural environment. So that's also a true. Very good. So I hope you're clear with your lessons and I hope you're all clear with your answers. So we eat root of drumstick. It's a false. Clove is the spice. That's a true. Herbivore can eat both plants and flesh. It's a false. Carnivore, birds have talons. It's a true. Food chain shows interdependence of organism. It's again a true. Okay. Now moving on to your match the following. Okay, so match the following. I want you to you can just tell it as a direct answer. So fungi, you are supposed to match whether it's A, apiculture, or B, pisciculture, C, decomposer, or D, egg and meat, E, scavenger. What does fungi stands for? Okay, so the options, it's a decomposer. So, okay, very good. So fungi are decomposers. So those who have told decomposers are very good, very right. And moving to vulture. So vulture, it's apiculture, or B, pisciculture, D, egg and meat, E, scavenger. So vulture, whether it's apiculture, pisciculture, D, egg and meat, and scavenger. Okay, so it's E, scavenger. Very good. So, and third one, rearing of honeybees. Rearing of honeybees. A, apiculture, B, pisciculture, and D, egg and meat. Apiculture or pisciculture or egg and meat. Very good. So, apiculture. Very good. And rearing of fish. So, what is the rearing of fish? What is rearing of fish? Okay, B, can you elaborate? Okay, so very good, Advika, very good, Jotham. So it's pisciculture. Nice. So, and fifth question is poultry. Poultry, so direct option is egg and meat. Okay, so fungi, it goes to decomposes. Vulture, it's a scavenger. Rearing of honeybees, apiculture. Rearing of fish, it's a pisciculture. And poultry, it's egg and meat. Okay, so that will be your answers for your match the following. Now I'm gonna ask you about very short questions. Okay, one word answers has to be written, has to be typed for these questions. So first question is, from which part of the plant do we get radish? So which part of the plant do we get radish? Very good. So all are telling root, and that's the right answer. So your answer will be root. Second question is, what are green plants also called as? Yes, it's not short answers, it's very short answer. It's a one word answers. Yes, Jotham is right. So no, green leaf. Green plants are also called as producers. Okay, so green plants, you call it as producers. That's the right answer. So green plants also called as producers. All right, so you can just commemorate that. So green plants, you always call them as producers. And third one, name the beverage that is obtained from leaves of the plant. Name the beverage that is obtained from the leaves of the plant. Very good, Advika. It's tea. Yes, it's a tea, Jotham. Very good. So the option answer is again tea. Okay, so the beverage which is obtained from the tea, leaf is tea. Okay, so seeds. From seeds is coffee, and leaves are tea. Okay, state an example of decomposer. Any example of decomposer? Example of decomposer. Very good, Srinidhi. It's fungi. Good. Merlin, again, it's a fungi. Okay, so the answer is fungi. Okay, so fungi, one example also you can write it as earthworm. Okay, bacteria can also be written. Very good. So anyone can be written. Okay, and your fifth question is, name an important ingredient of various food items which is neither obtained from plants nor from animals. So an ingredient which is neither obtained from plants and animals. Very good. So those who are telling salt, it's the right answer. So salt is neither obtained from plants nor from animals. It is obtained from sea. Okay. So with this, your one word answers for your lessons gets over. So you will be getting your materials today or tomorrow probably. You need not worry, but you have short along with your materials, you'll be getting your short answers as well as your long answers. Now we'll just discuss about higher order thinking skills. Okay, so higher order thinking skills, it's actually you are supposed to think and write the answers. You can just type your answers now. So how is carnivore different from a parasite? So how is carnivore different from a parasite? You can write your answers, you can type out your answers. So how actually carnivore is different from that of a parasite? Okay, it eats meat, not blood. Fine. Very good. So it's a flesh-eating animal. Okay. No, I want you to compare the carnivore and the parasite. Okay, it's you guys are telling only about the carnivore. What I'm telling is you are supposed to compare the carnivore. Okay, carnivore and parasite has to compared. Okay, it has to be compared, and you should find the difference. Okay, so if you are telling me it's like carnivore eats the flesh, what about the parasite? It's very big than a parasite. Okay, blood. Okay, so it is, first thing is it's bigger than the parasite. Very good. Second one is it eats flesh. Yes, whereas parasites eats or sucks in the blood. One major thing you're just forgetting it. One point, it's forgetting it. You guys are forgetting one major point which I told you about the parasite. What is the special quality of the parasite? Both resides on one particular animal, but when you talk about parasite, it actually sucks the blood is okay. Other than that, one common feature of both the carnivore and uh, Very good, Advika. So it's live on the host. That's the major thing. Okay, so it lives on the host. Also, it depends on the host. Okay, it depends on the host and it depends on one animal, or maybe it totally depends on the animal. While carnivore, it just go catch the flesh. It also depends on the animal, but not like parasite. Okay, so that's the only thing. That's the only thing. So first thing is like it is whatever you have told me. It's very good. Every answer you get, it's right. So carnivore is a flesh-eating animal and parasite sucks the blood and lives on the host. Very good. Apt answer. Okay, now moving on to the next question. So in green grassland, number of deer has reduced considerably. Will this affect the population of tigers which feeds on the deer? So what will be your answer? In a grassland, the number of deer has reduced considerably. Will this affect the population tiger which feeds on the deer? How will it affect the yes? So can you just elaborate your answer for yes? Of course it affects. Why it affects? Mainly one word, just one important word is needed. Maybe you can recall through yesterday's class. If you could remember something, you can just tell me. Very good, Morally. So that's the right answer. Food chain will be disrupted. Okay, so that's the only thing. Only major thing is food chain will be disrupted. Okay, so food chain is the one word which is needed for this question. Why? Because in grassland, when the deer is not consuming, what happens? Grass is become more. Okay, and tigers also, the population of tigers also begin to reduce. Why? Because they cannot eat the food they need or they require. Okay, so there will be a not balance in the food chain. So that's the right answer. Very good. And now value and life skills. So that you have been given two questions in value and life skills. We can just discuss any one. So do all human beings get adequate amount of food? Explain your given answer. Every individual all over the world, yes, no, they are not getting enough food. Why? Can you tell me why they don't get enough food? Why they don't get enough food? Any one point, maybe that would be okay. It's a no. It's actually a no only. So why don't they get enough amount of food? Any ideas of why they don't? No cause of where they are living. Okay. Okay, we might not know where they live. Oh, no copy answers. Very good. So it's less production. That is one major cause. Less production. Also, food scarcity. Very good. Less production. Yes. Food scarcity. Poverty. Again, that's the right answer. So these are the main three things. Okay. So fun thing is food scarcity. You don't enough food because the population is very much higher than that of food production. Next one is poverty. They don't get more amount of money to buy even vegetables and fruits. And the other one, what Advika told is also right. 1 second. Food scarcity, less production. Okay, so Rutila told production thing, production is not to the up to the level. Also disruption in food chain. Okay, so food chain is becoming to it's starting to lose its balance. Okay, because of cell phone towers, they don't have the small birds and all. So wherever the farmlands are becoming to be demolished and industries are being built, so these are some of the main causes. Okay, so that's what they don't get enough or adequate amount of food. So the second question is, think and list the ways to avoid food wastage. Any points to avoid food wastage? Fast. Type your answers fast. Avoid food wastage. Very good. So you are supposed to eat how much amount of food. So that is the one major thing. Eat fully again. Okay, whatever you can eat. Okay, whatever you can require to eat, just take that and eat. try to eat everything whatever which is given in your plate, because many of the people are not getting enough amount of food. So always keep that in mind, and say thanks to God for getting, for you to give enough amount of food. Okay, so eat fully, and okay, you can eat more vegetables which is good and healthy. Okay. Okay, I hope you're clear with all of whatever we have taken. Make it as a fertilizer. Okay, maybe this unused vegetables and fruits which is being decayed can be okay. So with this, your unit 1 gets over. I hope you do your activities and try to post it as soon as possible. Also learn your long answers and as well as your short answers, and also go through your one words. You'll be getting all of your materials by today or tomorrow. All right, I hope you don't have any doubts. Maybe if you have any doubts, we can just clarify it in the next class. In next class, we can go to new topic. Okay, we can learn another topic. Okay, thank you, take care.